This training is brought to you by Life Solutions, formerly EAP Solutions. We've changed our name to better reflect our emphasis on offering employees an expanded range of services to help balance life, work, and wellness. Our topic today is about generations in the workplace and the inherent value each generation brings. Let's begin our discussion by drilling down into the historical and cultural events that shaped each generation. These events help to mold the values, beliefs, life experiences, and attitudes of each group. Generational experts differ on the dates that identify the generations. In fact, generational personalities run much deeper than dates of birth. In discussing these differences, we will be making sweeping generalizations, but hope to avoid stereotyping. Generalizations are helpful only as a guideline. Within any group, there is a great deal of variety. Generational groups are no different. Problems and conflicts emerge when we react negatively to an individual on the basis of the group to which they belong, including their generational group. We will revisit this idea at the end of our presentation. Let's now look at some characteristics of each generation. The first generation we will focus on are the Traditionalists, born between 1920 and 1945. A motto for the Traditionalists could be, "I learned the hard way and you can too." Many in this group experienced the Great Depression, so economic hardship was one of their programming experiences. When they say, "I walked 3 miles to school uphill both ways in the snow and rain," there's probably some truth to that statement. World War II was another defining event in their lives, thus discipline, sacrifice, respect for authority, and loyalty are part of the Traditionalist work ethic. The next generation is the baby boomers, born between 1946 and 1964. Born just after World War II, this generation experienced prosperous economic times and advances in space exploration. The mood of the nation was expansive. The birth rate was exploding, and children were in the spotlight. The country had great expectations for this group, instilling in them the belief that they will make the world a better place. Their motto might be, "The times they are a-changin'," and they certainly were. Defining events for the baby boomers were the JFK and Martin Luther King assassinations, as well as the Vietnam War and the Civil Rights Movement. So, is it any wonder that baby boomers want to make a difference at work? Baby boomers are team players, and relationships are very important. They are often the ones putting in 60-plus hour work weeks and working on the weekends. Our third generation in the workplace is Generation X, born between 1965 and 1980. This is the smallest of the generational groups. This group grew up during the time of Watergate, when public leaders were disgraced and massive corporate layoffs saw loyal employees losing their jobs. They also saw a significant increase in the divorce rate, causing many of this generation to become latchkey kids, home alone, nuking dinner in the microwave, playing video games, and generally being more self-reliant. The compelling message for this generation is, don't count on it, count on yourself. At work, Gen Xers are independent and more informal in their communication and dress. They are more direct and to the point when interacting with others. Our fourth and final generation in the workplace is Generation Y, or the Millennials. They were born between 1981 and 1999, though this time frame is heavily debated. During their most formative years, millennials witnessed acts of terrorism like the Oklahoma City bombing, the Columbine high school shootings, and 9/11. But out of these acts of violence, the millennials watched the reemergence of the American hero in policemen and firefighters and a resurgence of patriotism. The millennials were raised in an even more heightened child-focused era where parents signed them up for soccer camp, music lessons, karate club, and tutoring on the same day. They had little free time and led very structured lives. They've always been given choices, whether it's about their clothes, food, or where they wanted to do a timeout. Their opinion has always counted. They've been told, "You're special," and they were taught to be inclusive and tolerant of other races, religions, and sexual orientations. They have learned to work more effectively in groups. The motto for this generation could be summed up in 2 words. It's all good. At work, the millennial is optimistic. They believe in the future and their role in it. Confident. They were raised to believe in the importance of self-esteem. Effective team players. They were taught from an early age to value teamwork. and technological savvy. They have grown up with technology and have an inherent comfort level with it. So why does any of this matter? The interaction among the 4 generations often leads to a more dynamic workplace, or the whole is greater than the sum of its parts approach. Accomplishing this approach requires a willingness to suspend judgment and an appreciation for the unique contributions of each generational group. The remainder of our training will focus on the unique contributions of each generation and how they create a more interesting and challenging work environment. Traditionalists contribute the following skills and perspectives to the workplace. Loyalty. They are loyal to the company and appreciate the role of the institution. Experience. They have been around the longest and have seen the ebbs and flows of society. Discipline. They value discipline and they have a strong work ethic. Sacrifice. They believe if you put in the work, there will be a reward. What value does this bring to the workplace? Traditionalists are the steady hand of the group. Baby boomers contribute the following skills and perspectives to the workplace. Ambition. They have the drive to succeed. Value on relationships. They value relationships and know that effective communication is necessary to maintain good working relationships. Optimism. They believe in being able to find solutions. Going the extra mile. They are willing to go the extra mile in order to get the job done. What value does this bring to the workplace? Boomers are greasing the relationship wheels to keep their group working effectively together. Gen Xers contribute the following skills and perspectives to the workplace. Independence. They have the ability to work independently. Adaptability. They are able to adapt to a variety of work environments. Informality. They believe informality is important in the workplace. Balance. They place a greater value on balancing work and life. What value does this bring to the workplace? Gen Xers welcome challenges and want to learn. Millennials contribute the following skills and perspectives to the workplace. Collaboration. They believe in collaborating and the importance of teamwork. Diversity. They appreciate diversity of all kinds, including in thought and action. Techno-savvy. They are excited about and comfortable with technology. Multitasking. They multitask so well, it's as if their brains are hardwired to do so. What value does this bring to the workplace? Millennials thrive in teams and have an inherent level of comfort with all forms of technology. In the book Connecting Generations, Claire Rains talks about a different way of thinking about diversity in the workplace. She calls it stir-fry. The cook adds a variety of things, in this case gender, generations, ethnicity. Each ingredient retains its uniqueness and contributes flavor to the whole dish. Something wonderful is created that is far tastier, more nutritious, and more interesting than any one part. To lose even one ingredient would diminish the texture and taste of the stir-fry. Reacting negatively to any one generation is like deciding you don't like an ingredient in the stir-fry without tasting it first. Similarly, in the workplace, we ought to suspend judgment before deciding that we can't work with members of other generational groups. Hopefully, this presentation has helped to increase your awareness of and appreciation for the differences in each generation. We want you to take away some ideas about the need for flexibility and compassion that will help you bridge the generational gaps. We hope that we have broadened your perspective about how each generation is indispensable to the overall flavor of the workplace.